Let's try one more example. In this example, the company purchases $100 of inventory, but this time it pays half of it, $50 with cash, and it buys the remaining $50 on account and will pay its supplier later. 4 things we need to know in order to be able to write the journal entry: the accounts affected, what type of accounts they are, whether they increase or decrease, and the dollar amount. I think we're getting the hang of this one. Let's see, what accounts are affected? Well, the company still is getting some inventory just as it has in the past 2 examples. That inventory, which is an asset account, increases by $100. In this example, the company pays for half of that $100 in cash. So the cash account is affected. So cash goes down by 50. The remaining 50, it pays on account. So here we would have an accounts payable account. That goes up by 50. So now we know what accounts are affected. There are 3 accounts. We know what types they are. 2 are asset, 1 is a liability account. We know whether they increase or decrease, and we know the dollar amount. So now we should be able to record our journal entry. Let's think about cash. Cash is an asset and it decreases. A decrease in an asset is a right side entry. Let's hold off on that for a moment. Inventory, which is an asset account, increases. Increases in asset accounts are left side entries or debits. So let's start there. We have a left side entry. Inventory, which is an asset account, increases by $100. All right, what about this accounts payable account? The accounts payable account is a liability account. It increases, so that would be a right side entry or a credit. So we have 2 accounts, cash and accounts payable, that will be right side entries. So let's just start with cash. We could start with either one, but we'll start with cash. We're going to indent that right side entry just a little bit underneath the left side entry. So cash, which is an asset account, decreases by 50. Okay, remember that the total of the left side entries must equal the total of the right side entries. And here we see that that's not yet the case. Why is that not the case? Because the accounts payable account is also affected. It's an increase in a liability that also is a right side entry, so let's make that entry. The accounts payable account, which is a liability, increases by 50. Okay? So now we see in our journal entry that the total of the left side entries, or debits, is exactly equal to the total of the right side entries, or credits, so we're satisfied that we've met that condition. One thing to point out here is you notice that we have a right side entry to an asset at the same time as we have a right side entry to a liability. But remember, right side entries to assets are decreases. Right side entries to liabilities are increases. Let's post these to the individual T accounts. We have 3 T accounts this time that are affected. Cash, inventory, and accounts payable. I will just abbreviate that here as AP. Let's post the left side entry or debit to the inventory account to the left side of the inventory T account. We'll post the right side entry to cash to the right side of the cash T account. So that's a decrease in cash. And then we'll post the right side entry to the accounts payable account to the right side of that T account. Now recall, it's important for us to make sure that the balance sheet equation stays in balance after we've recorded this journal entry and posted to the T accounts. So let's do that. Cash, which was an asset, decreased by 50, so assets have been decreased by 50 due to that effect. Inventory, which is an asset, increased by 100, so that results in a $100 increase in our asset side of the equation. The net effect there would be an increase of 50 on the left-hand side or the asset side of the equation. The accounts payable account, which is a liability, increased by 50. So the liabilities are up in total by 50. There's no effect on owner's equity. So what we see is that the asset side of the equation, or the left side, in total is up by 50. The right side of the equation is up by 50, so the equation stays in balance. Great work.